Money FM 89.3, best of weekends.
KF Seetoh, who is dearly wanting to make sure that our hawker centers become UNESCO World Heritage Sites. KF, welcome. Glad to have you on the show today.
Good morning. Good morning. Hey. Is this a lesson on English? I give you what kind of English that we speak here. We speak the Queen's Singlish.
Correct. And you are the king of the Queen's Singlish,
Yeah,
my friend.
the server can come up to you with a very nice tomato sauce for your meatball. Sir, would you like more sauce for your meatballs? That's very nice, right?
Yeah.
Hey, brevity. We just hold that sauce, come up to you and say, one or not.
Correct. We haven't got time for the niceties,
Why,
right?
why do I bother to tell you unless you're blind, say one or not. Yeah, that's it. That's how we go. And that's what you do in a hawker center.
Correct.
Yeah.
And also with the portions and
chili or not?
everything. I was going to say with the
chili or
portions. Yeah, chili or not. Yeah.
Yeah. Big or not? Add prawn? Add soup? Whatever. Brevity. Because the human is only designed to speak about 70 billion words in their life.
So the faster you say it, though, the faster you can start eating, right? Which is probably the more important point.
Amen.
And also, when there's a queue, my favourite one is like the portion size, right? No messing about, is this enough? Okay or not? That's it, right?
Yeah.
Spoon?
Yeah,
okay or not? Done. Finished.
Yeah,
That's
可以吗? It's like Chinese say 可以吗? Why? You're not dumb. You got eyes. You got quarter of a brain. So go figure, man.
That's it. Enough. That's
Perfect.
it. Enough.
Yeah.
Hey, KF, since we have you on the line, one of our regular contributors on Facebook Live, A.B. Terrence, is wondering where he can find a really good old-fashioned char kway teow. Where is that?
What is old-fashioned? Old-fashioned, that means the guy is very old, right? An old man frying char kway teow.
Seetoh, I think he'll want it from anywhere, right?
Yeah. I mean, char kway teow is either good, bad, okay, divided into cheap and not cheap. That's all. Nothing old. What I came across this old man, if you like all these old men frying char kway teow romance, there are young people doing a very good job with it. It is opposite the Subcourts, Pearls, somewhere near Pearls. There's a coffee shop. This man is called Cabbage Fried Hokkien Mee. I go around doing research for my next book, and I go to where no men go. I just turn left when everybody goes right. You do the right thing, I do the left thing. And I found this guy, quiet guy, and just sat down. Wow, and I ate, and I said, "Wow, my God, I forgot this flavor lah." Because for a start, char kway teow has to be smooth and slurpy and slippery. You cannot take a mouthful of char kway teow into the mouth because it's very heavy. It's cloying to a certain extent. That is why, if you notice, good char kway teow folks, they give you a chopstick on a plate to eat noodles that are all cut up. You realize that they don't give you fork and spoon. You scoop a mound into your mouth.
Yeah.
So you pick it up. When you try to pick up a lot will fall off your chopstick, and you only take that much in. And you enjoy that much from it. All these were pre-designed by the food geniuses 60, 70 years ago. They already knew the best way to enjoy char kway teow a bit at a time. So this guy is Cabbage char kway teow. It's across the Subcourt after the OG shopping center. You just walk down, 2 coffee shops down. It is very good. It's going to be in our new food guide, which is coming up real soon.
All right, you heard it first.
I wanted to ask you, we're talking with Makansutra
34.
founder Seetoh, KF Seetoh. On that point, it's driving me crazy like everybody else. We've got almost 6 million people here because we cannot travel, we cannot fly. So we're looking for places to eat. But at the same time, they're so busy. I mean, would you have 2 or 3 suggestions for the holiday season where maybe off the beaten track, a little bit more ulu, who probably need the business as well, a couple of stalls that everyone goes to the favourites, the Adam Roads and the Newtons and the Maxwell and so on. Any 2 or 3 hawker centres that you think a little bit quieter, need the business, but good service?
Yeah, that means go off the eaten track, right?
Oh, very good. Nice. Yeah.
Good one. Hey, my English quite powderful.
Powderful, are you, brother?
Powderful. Hey, the places that you mentioned, Maxwell, Chinatown, Old Airport, all that, those are public hawker centers. Now let me give you the numbers now. Okay, let me go anal for a while. There are 114 public hawker centers run by the government. Yeah, you pay rent to the government. You bid for a shop. You can bid anywhere from $50 to $8,000. I just heard some nutcase bid $8,000 for a hawker stall. That's just the public hawker centers alone. I mean, it's like an auction. I don't know why the government wants to highest bid gets it. It shouldn't. I feel it shouldn't. Now, 6,000 hawkers reside in 114 public hawker centers. Your Maxwell's Chinatown, your Serangoon Gardens, and all that, right? Okay, here's the other big fact. Everybody overlooked. There are close to just over 20,000 more private hawker centers, the ones that pay rents to kopitiam owners, coffee shop, food court and all that. Those makes the biggest chunk of the food, the heritage, hawker food culture that we have down here. So I say, don't just go to a hawker centers, go and support a coffee shop everywhere. I was just at this place last night, and they are being listed in my upcoming book, by the way. He has been running a little yakitori stall in a rundown coffee shop at the corner of Dixon Road and Jalan Besar.
Oh yeah,
the top of Dixon Road, right across the MRT. Rundown, but it is, you go there, you straight away, I feel at home. This is so Singapore. Boisterous, noisy, and the place comes to life at night. There's a 24-hour prawn noodle stall. There's this guys from Malaysia selling yong tau foo, fresh stall. And they are so chicken rice and all that. This guy, he just puts skewers and he grills it. It is beautiful. It is called Yakitori at Dixon. Go Google it. He opens only at 8 p.m. because of COVID.
Right.
And he closes at 6 a.m.
Right. So, Seetoh, just to clarify that, so hawker centres we know, so you're talking about the coffee shops that on the street corners that may be around housing estates, but they do not come under hawker centres, so they are classified differently. Is that correct? So you're not just talking about food courts in shopping malls, you're talking about coffee shops around housing estates, right?
Yeah. Food court, even in a food court, in a fancy food court, you go to some malls, they are considered hawkers. They pay the same hawker license to the. They are considered under, I think, some food shop license, which all hawkers come under. So they too are a part of this great hawker culture that's due for a UNESCO award. Yay! I fought for it 3 years ago, and now we're getting it, man.
Seetoh, I'm always amazed at how dearly people love their favorite hawker center or their favorite particular spot. I remember a couple of years ago, I was taking a taxi home late at night to East Coast where I was living, and I was talking with the driver, and he said, "Oh yeah, after this I'm going off." I said, "Oh, where are you going?" He goes, "Meet my kakis up for some food, a midnight snack." And I said, "Oh, where are you going?" He goes, "Oh, I'm driving up to Woodlands," because his favorite their favorite spot for whatever it was they were eating was up there. And I mean, he was going to travel across the island for 20 minutes or 25 minutes just to get something to eat when he's on the clock, right? He hadn't finished his shift. So it's amazing to me as a non-Singaporean that people will drive literally across the island for a dish of food. This seems something that's very particular to Singapore.
This is the reason, one of the reasons that we celebrate food, and one of the reasons why I say we are so UNESCO-able when it comes to hawker food culture. I mean, I travel a lot. I mean, I think I've been around the globe, every continent, all the countries that I can pronounce, some I cannot pronounce. I've been there. And when you tell people Singapore, we are food crazy, lunch we talk about dinner, breakfast we talk about lunch, and weekday we talk about weekend, what to eat, they don't get it, because they don't have that in their DNA. They don't have 20,000. You walk out of your studio now, somebody's trying to sell you food, everywhere. You bungee or you fall off the aeroplane, you parachute into Singapore. I think within 5 feet, somebody's trying to sell you chicken rice. And how, even when my late and good friend Bourdain, when he came, I told him, we are food crazy. It's very hard to tell you. When he came, after about 3-4 trips, then he realized, he put it simply, this food mad city, it's a birthright our right to be mad about food is our birthright. And I said,
That was
you're
Anthony
right,
Bourdain
man.
you're talking about.
Bourdain,
Yeah.
Anthony Bourdain, the late Anthony Bourdain. Bless
Okay,
his
so
soul,
let's put it into context for our listeners and viewers. Back in, let me think, I got the date here, early 2018, yourself as the founder of Makansutra, you met up with the National Heritage Board focus group with a number of foodies, including Violet Urn and others, to discuss a UNESCO award for our hawker culture. Now, explain it for myself and for the benefit of our listeners, what that actually means. Okay, if you preserve a site, I get it. You preserve the Botanic Gardens, you preserve the Taj Mahal, Sydney Opera House, and so on. What are you asking for here in terms of a UNESCO award? What are you asking for? What will they get, and how will it benefit the culture?
I don't know what UNESCO sees as intangible heritage of culture and blah, 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 blah. But it's not something tangible. It's not a physical thing. I understand there's a dance in Africa where they just jump up and down. But they know that one. They hold this and they go jump, jump, jump. That's also a UNESCO intangible thing. So it's like a dance. Malaysia has some dance that's so this affinity. I get all the questions. See, dude, what is the difference between food and food culture? You talk about your grandmother. You compare your grandmother's nasi ulam with the solid katong, and then you compare. The leaf are not so fine. They didn't cut half an thick. No good. That's food culture because very hard to tell you to extol this thing about affinity relationship and our. I don't know what our foreplay with food.
So just to update, 27th of March 2019, thanks to all your great work, Singapore officially submitted its nomination to inscribe hawker culture in Singapore on the UNESCO representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity. So that was a year ago.
You got it.
I know, it's a mouthful, which would make sense for hawker culture.
A Makansutra mouthful, right?
But that was back in March. Obviously, we had COVID. What's the latest? Where are we at? I know you keep championing it on social media, and it's fantastic. What's the latest? Have you heard anything?
I don't hear. I go out there and see. You hear nonsense. You got to go out there. So I tell you, the bottom line is this: if you are in a coffee shop, in a hawker center, in the heartlands, most of the heartlands, you are safe. You are okay. You could go to Hague Road. You go to Bukit Merah. They are packed. People are working from home, and I can tell you, like in Singapore, where else can you eat so comfortably? At such a ridiculous affordable price. $5, a nice drink with a nice meal with a drink thrown in. Throw a couple of dollars in, you got desserts,
Correct.
Local style dessert. So the ones that are struggling, your usual touristy spots in town and the boondock areas, those destination places, those are really, really suffering. And then also there are some hawkers who aren't going online. They just don't put one little message out there, or they're not constantly telling stories, reminding you, I'm still alive, I'm still cooking today. I just want to tell hawkers or any chef or cook, if you want to go on Instagram or your social media, don't just take a big beautiful picture of your dish. Well, today I'm selling this set, blah 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 blah. No, you go and shoot your fingernail, and you show, today my fingernail very long. I'm gonna cut this. People want to be kepo, You know what I mean? Kepo. Yeah, the kepo. Then I got my friend from Chinatown. He will look. Don't come Chinatown now. Gonna rain now. The sky is all Lulu already. That means very black, People like it. You go there, this guy, funny. You go there because you know the guy. That's what social media is about. Social, my friend.
Yeah. Talking with KF Seetoh, of course, the head of author-host of Singapore's Makansutra. And we just have a couple of minutes left. But when you see the future of hawker centers, many of the older generation are retiring. Many of their kids don't want to take over. It's we do see an increasing number of hawker stalls that are closing down. How do we get the younger generation of cooks interested and involved so that we can make sure we maintain this vibrant hawker center culture? And we've just got a couple minutes left for this.
Okay, you bring American or UK weather here. It's cool, it's nice, because people want to work in aircon. You toil in a hawker kitchen, sweaty and all that. People don't like it, even though they know they can earn more than what a basic graduate can earn. They won't. So we are looking into this problem. The government came up with a hawker sessions thing, very good intent, but there are hurdles along the way. But if to UNESCO, when UNESCO comes about and people, the whole world, when the door opens, they come, hey, wow, now I see you in a different light. I no longer talk about I'm no longer interested in the deliciousness. I'm interested in you, the story. Wow, now I know. And then if a young generation of hawkers knows how to expand, they bring their food overseas. Hey, it's a different game, In America, you don't sell chicken rice for $4 anymore.
Yeah.
You sell it for $14, which Bourdain says cheap.
And very, very briefly,
so expand story, yeah.
I was going to ask, speaking of stories, I saw a magnificent post on your Facebook. Toad in the Prata, was that correct? Prata in the hole.
Yeah, totally.
Now, I'll just briefly explain. There's a British dish called Toad in the Hole, which is Yorkshire puddings, battered puddings, you know it? With sausages built around it.
Yep.
Tell us briefly about the Singapore adaptation of that.
So this one is actually a prata. She created a ring. She pulled it long, and then she turned it into a ring. She put it on a pan, and then she cracks 2 eggs in the middle as the prata around that's framing it. It's being to crispify, and then she puts it on a plate, and then she puts chicken curry on it. She's having it. She's so popular now. She's having an event at the roof of MBS this weekend.
Is that right?
Today, this evening.
And what is the dish called again? What does she call it?
Toad in a prata.
Toad in the Prata, and this is down at
Toad in a hole.
This is down at your Makansutra, right?
Makansutra Gluttons Bay. They are the stall that sells a mee goreng stall. Go there and harass her, man. Go ahead, man.
Toad in the Prata.
We are
that
definitely
is
gonna
a
try
must visit during the festive season. Toad in the Prata. I love it.
KF Seetoh, thank you so much for being on with us today.
Thank you
Always
so
a pleasure
much,
to have you on with us. We wish
Thank
good
you,
luck with
guys.
with UNESCO World Heritage Site classification. Come back on and talk to us when we have more information about that.
We will. Definitely.
Okay.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks.
Take care.
Have a great day.
Have a good weekend.
Okay. Bye-bye.